and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor at M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cleveland Browns and the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. Leading them out is the Austin, Texas native at quarterback. It's Baker Mayfield.
And coming up of an early season open week. And in this situation, what he told us when we sat down with him was he spent a lot of time working on fundamentals, kind of getting back to basics during that time, as opposed to having to worry about healing up or resting up. It was too early in the season. Get back to the basics, get his game going again.
A first down throw from Mayfield. And incomplete to open things up. Jarvis Landry, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. He's got his man. That's Landry. And the throw there going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. This is taken at the 23. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. They'll have Lamar Jackson calling the shots, the former Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
Good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
I'm going to give him another shot.
All right. I think the ratio is pretty good. He'll try to eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
They run with Edwards. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
Yeah, I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On third down. Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown, his 11th touchdown of the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And now Mayfield on the bootleg. Pressure comes and down goes Baker Mayfield.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. This is brought in at the 21. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Now they'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace, making the other team chase now. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
That's right. Just train tracks, baby. Get off the train tracks.
And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 37-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. On second down now. It's Hughes. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then, the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll try to run this one in, and he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year as the Ravens push further out in front. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run, end result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Mayfield. They set up the screen to Chubb. A gain there of 21 yards.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They go play action. Mayfield. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return, and out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you... The play calling, they're locked in really well.
He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Jackson. He's got a 1st down past the 30. And finally brought down at the 34-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson. Over the middle, that's caught by Owens. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 38-yard line. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Jackson. Wide open receiver complete. And he's finally taken down, and it's a big gain there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll look to run with Edwards. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. Throwing is Jackson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. From 4 yards out as the Ravens push further out in front. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it is now 21-0. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. This one complete to Patton.
That was a nice throw out there to the flat, but they defended that pretty well. The hope is to go ahead and put it on him so he can turn and get upfield and gain additional yardage. It just wasn't anywhere to go on that play.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. This is fielded at the 27. Great blocking, nearly sprung him there. 28-yard return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
Ready? Single, 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 single.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Jackson now, 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. Jackson now. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1 yard line.
1 yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and goal. Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal.
They're going to need some therapy after this.
Held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Marquise Brown, his 2nd touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season as the Ravens push further out in front. He's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Tucker now to add the point after. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active and involved in the game. You just try and find ways to get him going, and it doesn't have to be something that's big downfield.
Maybe kind of like in basketball, just a shooter seeing the ball go through, you get him a rep, get him more comfortable.
I agree with that totally. Maybe set that solid screen and give him an easy look.
Well, to this point, no catches. They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Mayfield. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. It's the former Seahawk, Earl Thomas. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Brandon, I'm not going to tell him that you called him old in our pregame meeting, but this guy has been around a long time. If there's a trick in the book, he knows it. He probably even wrote a few chapters. And this is what he's always had. And that's a nose for the football. He's able to come away here with the interception.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. The stop was made by Jannard Avery.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. He got 29 yards that time.
This is one of those plays that has an equal chance of either being a big gain or a big loss, but with the college influence, we're seeing more of these plays come into the NFL.
Three red zone trips, 3 touchdowns so far. They'll look for a 4th on 2nd and goal. They'll run here with Edwards. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3. 2nd and goal from the 1. Again, it'll be Edwards. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action, throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4 down territory.
So on 4th down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. They took it all the way to the 1, but in the end, opt for 3.
Just doesn't sound right, does it? If you get all the way down to the 1-yard line, isn't that supposed to be a play in the end zone that culminates in a touchdown for your team?
And per usual, it felt like the guys on the sideline wanted to go ahead and go for it.
Of course they did, but of course head coach, it defers back to him, and he made the decision, let's get 3 out of this, make sure we get some points.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. In 2nd quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people. Lean on your teammates. Find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13.
I got him.
Chubb on the counter. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
Well, it's looking like another 3 and out here, and at some point, got to be able to put together a drive to keep your defense from having to go right back out on the field. I feel like things are starting to unravel a little bit, and we're not even at halftime.
That's pulled in at the 32. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Taking it right down Broadway. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year as his guys continue to pour it on.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Tucker with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown one interception. He wants to balance that off with at least one touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw, Mayfield. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Here's Mayfield.
Time to give a little credit here.
They've got his man complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. How about a 39-yard pickup? They'll take it. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Going to the air again with Mayfield. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. We saw a lot of that a week ago defensively from him. AFC Defensive Player of the Week. Just always seems to be around the football.
I like your observation there. Understands the game, understands positioning, can put himself in the right spot, and then make a play on the football.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Mayfield got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. The last catch did get 3, but they're still left needing 7 yards on 3rd down. Mayfield with it once more. He's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown as they are now on the board here in the first half. Now, the scoreboard still does not look good, but at least they polished off that goose egg.
Yeah, they've been thoroughly outplayed in the first half. Finally, a little spark of life, but it's going to take a lot more to add to that flame for them to thoroughly get back into this one.
Extra point by Badgley, up and good. And they get a bit of a respite here from what's been an otherwise dreadful first half of football. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Gus Edwards heading back onto the field. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Let's go.
Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll start over in Texas at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. And this has been as one-sided as it gets. It's a 20-point game at the half. Dak Prescott has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, we head up to Kansas City. Check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Raiders. Sammy Watkins, a touchdown reception. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Arizona Cardinals. DJ Moore, 2 touchdown catches on the afternoon. In the game you're watching, we've seen a strong first half out of Lamar Jackson. His 3 touchdown passes have his guys out in front. As we hand things back over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Gus Edwards heading back onto the field, and he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Couldn't do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller.
Now a run with Edwards, and he'll get it down to the 47 here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. We should mention, to go along with a great game he had last week, he was rightfully named AFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he shares that with his offensive line, the tight end, his fullback. He's looking for more and more of that in this game.
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. A great play there. 41 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And a long run there in the end to top it off. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. A run for Nick Chubb, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. And now timeout is whistled as it appears there's a Brown shaken up on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield, and this is going to be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Taking it about the 16. A good return there, 17 yards. And Gus Edwards heading back onto the field. You start prorating these rushing numbers and looking ahead, he could be on pace for a 2,000-yard season. I don't want to jinx him, but what a year to this point.
But you just did.
Sorry?
That's okay. No, he can overcome that.
I'm not apologizing to you.
No.
Okay?
I like your attitude. But you're right. What's got to happen for it to actually occur? Offensive line has continued blocking the way they've been blocking. He has to stay healthy. But also, it's not just the idea that he's going to run the football, but you got to run it against numbers that dictate you throwing the football. Sometimes when you have 6 to block and you only have 5 guys, you've got to block them anyway, and he has to make someone miss as well the rest of the year.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. They'll go back to Edwards on first down. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Jackson going to give this one to Edwards. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. John Harbaugh going to roll the dice. They're going for it on 4th down. Jackson will keep it. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. So the decision to go for it turns out to be a good one. They get a couple of yards, and as a result, the drive keeps moving. It's now 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. It'll be a pickup of 4, and it brings up 2nd and goal. Again, it's Edwards. And the D not yielding much there. He's only going to get a yard to about the 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
They'll come out in the pistol. They've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Brandon, at some point, these defenders absolutely have to say, we've just got to make a stand. We've had enough of this.
Giving up a lot of points in this game, but look better on that play. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A nice-looking play to start the drive down the middle and complete. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Now left side on the swing pass. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. A cool little accomplishment for him passing the football. 25,000 yards. He just surpassed that for his career.
When he was a little guy in the backyard just throwing it around, probably with his dad, he thought about playing in the NFL. He dreamed of it. But to put up these kind of numbers while doing so, that's got to be kind of cool for him. He'll enjoy the heck out of thinking about that when this one is over.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Mayfield to throw it. And it's incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
And again, it's Mayfield. And that's incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Michael Badgley ready for the field goal try. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. A 55-yard attempt, normally you'd say well within his range. A little surprised he came up short.
And he knew it immediately, didn't he? They are so calibrated, aren't they? They can tell the touch, the feel. When they put the foot to the ball, whether it's going to be good or not, he knew immediately he didn't have that one.
So here are the Ravens to take over on offense. Remember, they're riding that 5-game winning streak, and right now in the driver's seat in this ball game as well. Now it's Edwards. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Gus Edwards with another touchdown, number 24 on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Mayfield now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Gus Edwards heading back onto the field. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you, and it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
A gain of 3, second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
From the 39, Jackson towards the end zone for Brown. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. First quarter, Charles, you really emphasized the importance of winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. They haven't forced a single turnover in this game.
And right now they're losing, so no turnovers might lead to no victory.
He can run for it, and he will.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Check 53. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. This will be caught by Brown.
Nothing fancy on 1st down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. He was trying to go back to Hollywood there, and it's 3rd and short.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away, but the bottom line is that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
To throw is Jackson. Got a man, it's caught for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown there to make the grab as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will... The Browns offense trotting back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Looking to throw again on second down. Mayfield will try and set up the screen. It's complete. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third. The Browns on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now Mayfield. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Fielded at about the 28. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. 72 yards on the punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Tucker with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Well, we know he has home run hitting ability in the punt return department, and he showcases it there all the way back for 6. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
To throw again on second down. Mayfield. And his throw here is incomplete. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Edwards now on 1st and 10. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards, his 25th touchdown, tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season as his guys continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And the Browns getting set to go. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
Face mask. Defense.
They're down here in the fourth, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration, not a good play.
So the face mask puts them in even better shape than they were in, as they'll have a short field here on 1st and 10. This is Edwards. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They run once more with Edwards. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Gus Edwards, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
And now we've hit that stage of the game, partner, where one of our predecessors, one of the great commentators of all time, he used to sing in this situation when this game appeared to be over.
I know the fat lady's been singing for some time.
No, not her at all. This is one of our guys.
But she's singing too.
Oh, she's singing. She's
on like the 5th tune.
Yeah, she left Scales way behind, but he used to sing something about turning out the lights. The party was over.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns drive about to get started, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Then they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Tony Jefferson, and they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Here's Edwards. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. They'll keep it on the ground. Edwards. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards the pickup there. Good for a Raven first. On 1st down, it's Edwards. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. And quickly they get to the line. On 2nd down, it's Edwards. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, it's Hughes. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. A 13-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. And that rushing touchdown is 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game. And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it's capped off by a 13-yard touchdown run. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Browns drive about to get started. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see when they decide to do a play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. He was looking to get it to Jarvis Landry that time. And it's 3rd and 4. Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. He'll get this into the hands of Hodge.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he fields it cleanly. Now a late flag comes in as they got him down via the face mask, and that'll give him even better starting position. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
Excellent field position after the face mask penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield. On the handoff, Edwards. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to give a whole lot of credit to the running game and the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
16 yards on that one at a Raven first.
Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Let's go, deep, tight. Let's go, deep, tight.
And despite the late lead, Jackson to throw. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Tucker now for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's capped off with a Ravens touchdown. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Baltimore, they remain as hot as anyone, 6-0 now through the first month and a half. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Browns, they drop below 500 to 2-3 with a loss. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Heinz Field to take on the Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.